Okay, so you are not going to believe what happened yesterday in Patna. We're talking May 26th, 2025.
Oh, what's this now?
It was at the Lalit Narayan Mishra Institute, a pretty well-known place in Bihar.
Right, okay. What was the event?
Well, it seems like a totally standard event. They were handing out appointment letters to about 20 new faculty members.
Ah, okay. Like a ceremony. Usually quite formal, those things.
Exactly, you picture it right. Formal proceedings, maybe a bit of optimism in the air. Very predictable.
Uh-huh. Photo ops, handshakes, the usual. Ends up as a small news item.
That's what you'd think. But then things took a very unexpected turn.
Go on.
The additional Chief Secretary of Education, S. Siddharth, a top bureaucrat, he goes up to present Chief Minister Nitish Kumar with a sapling in a pot.
Okay, standard symbolic gesture, growth, nurturing knowledge, all that.
Right. But instead of just, accepting the pot, Kumar lifts it up and, he places it right on top of Siddharth's head.
He what? You're kidding me. The whole pot, soil and everything.
The whole shebang. Flour, soil, pot, right on the additional Chief Secretary's head.
Wow. Okay. What was the reaction? I mean, the immediate atmosphere in the room.
Absolute stunner. People who were there said you could hear like a collective gasp. Just stunned silence for a beat.
I can imagine. That's just bizarre.
Then apparently there was this ripple of stifled laughter, people trying not to laugh out loud.
Awkward. And Siddharth, the official with the pot on his head.
Well, to his credit, he apparently kept his cool, didn't miss a beat outwardly, just calmly took the pot off his head and, carried on.
Very professional under unusual circumstances.
Extremely. But of course, someone, somewhere, had their phone out recording.
Oh, inevitably. These days, nothing goes unrecorded.
And by this morning, May 27th, the internet had just completely lost its mind over it.
Ah, so it went viral immediately.
It completely viral. Twitter, it was an explosion. Clips everywhere, screenshots being analyzed.
And the memes. There must have been memes.
Oh, the meme machine went into absolute overdrive. One I saw was Nitish Kumar's new policy. If you can't plant ideas, plant pots.
That's pretty good, actually.
Another one had him photoshopped with gardening gloves, captioned Bihar's Green Revolution, Head Start Edition. Just meme mania.
It's amazing how fast that happens. A single weird visual just takes off.
It really is. But, beyond the laughs and the sheer weirdness of it, there's a serious political angle here.
Right, especially with assembly elections coming up in Bihar. This isn't just a funny blooper.
Exactly. The opposition is already seizing on this like crazy. So that's what we want to do in this deep dive. Get past the funny clip and try to understand, the incident itself, the political fallout, and what this whole thing might actually mean for Bihar politics right now.
Makes sense. It feels like more than just an odd moment. So let's go back to the incident itself, the setting, the players.
Okay. Lalit Narayan Mishra Institute, formal event, appointment letters, Chief Minister Kumar, additional Chief Secretary S. Siddharth.
And Siddharth is a very senior official, right? Not just some junior staffer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's the additional Chief Secretary for Education, a key figure in the state administration. That definitely amplifies the strangeness.
So Kumar puts the pot on his head in public at an official event.
Right in spotlight. And Siddharth, as we said, reacted professionally, but reports say he's been pretty tight-lipped since.
Understandable. And the immediate online buzz was just bewilderment and human.
Mostly, yeah. Just people kind of going, did that really just happen? Disbelief mixed with finding it funny.
Okay, and the political opposition, the RJD, you said they pounced.
Instantly, like almost immediately. Mrityunjay Tawari, one of their spokespersons, he came out swinging.
What did he say?
Called it shocking and shameful, said it brought disgrace to the state, went even further, suggesting Kumar's mind is not in his control.
Wow, okay. Pulling no punches there.
Not at all. He also claimed Kumar is being controlled by a coterie of bureaucrats and called him the weakest chief minister Bihar has ever seen.
That's a very direct attack on his competence and authority. Designed to undermine him, clearly.
Absolutely. And Tejashwi Yadav, the RJD leader, he jumped on social media too.
What was his take?
He alluded to Kumar's mental condition and basically accused him of disrespecting protocol, disrespecting the dignity of the office.
Mental condition, that's pretty loaded language.
It is. And Rohini Acharya, Lali Yadav's daughter, she chimed in with a sarcastic comment about a haywire brain.
So the RJD strategy is clear. Paint Kumar is erratic, maybe unfit, especially with the 2025 elections looming. Position Tejashwi as the alternative.
That seems to be exactly the plan. Use this incident to fuel that narrative.
And, this flower pot thing.
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to be happening in a complete vacuum, does it? There have been other, let's say, unusual moments recently.
You're right. It fits into a pattern, or at least the opposition is framing it as a pattern of peculiar behavior.
Like what else?
Well, remember back in March 2025, the Sepak Takraw World Cup inauguration in Patna?
Vaguely. What happened there?
Kumar just abruptly walked off the stage right before the national anthem was supposed to play.
Oh, right. That caused a huge stir, didn't it? Leaving before the anthem.
Massive controversy. The RJD plastered Patna with posters saying, Nayak nahi kal nayak hun main. I'm not the hero, I'm the villain.
Ouch. Strong stuff.
Yeah, and even their ally, the CPI ML Liberation, publicly called for him to resign over that, questioning his fitness to be CM.
So that incident already had people talking about his judgment, his health, maybe.
Exactly. And then go back a bit further, November 2024, an event in Darbhanga.
What happened there?
There was that moment where Kumar seemed to bend down like he was trying to touch Prime Minister Modi's feet.
I remember seeing footage of that. It sparked a lot of debate. Deference or desperation?
Precisely. Given they're both senior leaders, roughly the same age, it looked odd to many. Misa Bharti from the RJD even suggested that kind of strange behavior was why the BJP seemed to be keeping him at a distance during Modi's rallies in Bihar.
So you take the anthem walk off, the foot-touching attempt, and now the flower pot.
Yeah.
The opposition have a narrative they can build.
Definitely. It feeds into this question. Are these just isolated, awkward gaffes? Or is it something more? Age-related decline, health issues, or is the opposition just really good at blowing these things up?
It's complicated, and you have to see it against the backdrop of Bihar politics. Kumar's been around a long time.
Since 2005, yeah. Built his whole brand on Sushashan good governance. And to be fair, he is credited with improvements, especially compared to what came before. Roads, law and order.
He certainly brought a period of relative stability and development focus after the, shall we say, more turbulent RJD years under Lalit.
True. But then there's the other side, the Paltu Kumar nickname. Turncoat Kumar.
Right, because of the alliance switches. It's been quite a few, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Dumped the BJP in 2013, rejoined them 2017, left again in 2022, then back with them earlier this year, 2024.
That does make him an easy target for accusations of opportunism. The RJD must love reminding people of that.
Constantly. They frame him as lacking any real ideology, so this flowerpot thing, it's just fresh ammunition for them.
Of course, Kumar's allies, the JDU, they have their own counter-arguments about the RJD's past, right?
Oh, absolutely. People like Niraj Kumar from the JDU are quick to bring up things like, say, the state of law and order or communal tensions during Lalu's time. It's always there, that historical context, that rivalry.
So back to the RJD's current attack line, this idea that Kumar is being controlled by bureaucrats. They mentioned S. Sidher specifically. What's the play there?
They're trying to suggest he's become a figurehead, basically. That the real power lies with unelected officials. It undermines his image as a strong administrator.
But surely any CM relies heavily on their senior civil servants, especially for complex development work.
Of course, you need that expertise. But the RJD is pushing it further, suggesting it's not reliance, it's control, a puppet master situation.
Does Sidher's calm reaction to the pot incident help or hurt that narrative?
That's interesting. You could argue it undermines it. He didn't look like someone pulling the strings or someone intimidated by the strings, right? He just looked professional, dealing with something bizarre.
True. But the RJD hopes the bureaucrat control idea resonates with voters may be frustrated about other things.
Exactly. Like crime rates, which Joshua often brings up using official stats. They want to create this image of a leader who isn't really driving the bus anymore.
And then there's the health angle. The RJD's mental state comments, Prashant Kishore calling for a medical bulletin. It's sensitive territory.
Very sensitive. And potentially risky for the RJD. It could backfire if voters see it as disrespectful or, ageist. Kumar's 74.
His age and health have definitely been subjects of speculation, even beyond the RJD's attacks. Kishore's demands showed that.
Yeah. The JDU, naturally, defends him vigorously. Rajiv Ranjan Prasad said he's 100% physically and mentally fit. Dismissed it all as political desperation.
What about the BJP's main coalition partner? What's their stance on these episodes and the health talk?
Well, that's been quite interesting. They've been relatively quiet on this specific issue. Deputy CM Vijay Kumar Singha, who's BJP, he called the flowerpot thing a minor lapse.
Just a minor lapse, okay.
Yeah, but the BJP leadership hasn't really jumped in strongly to defend Kumar against the broader health speculation. It could be they're a bit uncomfortable themselves, or maybe just being cautious not to alienate anyone before the elections.
A delicate balancing act for them.
Definitely. Now back to the social media storm. Beyond the funny memes, what was the general feeling among ordinary people online in Bihar?
Was it all just jokes, or was there more to it?
It was a real mix. Lots of humor, yes. Those memes like Minister of Horticulture, Bihar's new Headspace initiative, they were everywhere.
Right.
But you also saw this definite undercurrent of embarrassment. Comments like, seriously, this is our chief minister, or we deserve better leadership than this.
So some genuine frustration or cringing.
Yeah. But then others defended him, said it was just a quirky, harmless moment. He's human, not a robot. Give the guy a break, basically.
So a polarized reaction, really, reflecting the broader political divisions, perhaps.
Probably. And you have to think about the impact of visuals like this, especially in a state like Bihar, where literacy rates mean many people get their news from videos and images on their phones.
A potent image can cut through complex arguments very quickly. The RJD knows that.
They absolutely do. They amplified it strategically. But, as we said, relying too much on these moments could also make them look like they're trivializing the state's real problems.
Which brings us to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
What are the real stakes here for Bihar beyond the Flowerpot theatrics?
Well, the state still faces huge challenges. Crime is a persistent worry for many. Infrastructure, especially in rural areas, needs constant work. The assembly elections are coming up, and this is a test for that NDA double-engine government idea.
And Kumar's legacy is built on development roads, electricity, health improvements since 2005. That's his counter-narrative.
Exactly. He can point to tangible progress. The RJD's job is to convince voters that he's now a liability, that his time is up, and that Tejashwi represents a fresh start.
Positioning Tejashwi as the youthful, energetic alternative.
Precisely. But let's not forget, the NDA did very well in Bihar in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. They led in most assembly segments, so they still have significant strength.
So pulling it all together, this Flowerpot incident, was it just a clumsy misstep, a sign of decline, or somewhere in between?
I think, like most things in politics, the truth is probably somewhere in the messy middle. It's possible it was just an odd, maybe ill-judged moment from a leader who's been in the game a very long time. Potential fatigue, maybe?
Plausible. But the pattern of recent incidents does raise questions.
It does. And the RJD's response is clearly opportunistic. Let's be honest, Lalu Yadav himself has made plenty of controversial remarks over the years, so their outrage might seem a bit selective to some voters.
Fair point. The pot calling the kettle black, perhaps?
Maybe. Ultimately, for most people in Bihar, it probably comes back to basics. Jobs, safety, development. That quote from the Patna resident online really stuck with me. Nitish G, plant trees, not pots. Bihar needs growth, not memes.
That sums it up well. The focus should be on substance, not spectacle.
Right. The big question is whether Kumar can regain that focus, project strength and competence before the elections. Or will the RJD succeed in convincing voters their lantern symbol offers a brighter future than his arrow?
So what we saw was this truly bizarre moment, amplified instantly by social media, seized upon by political rivals, raising questions about leadership, health, and the whole political direction of Bihar.
Exactly. It really boils down to, was this just a strange, isolated lapse? Or is it symptomatic of something deeper happening with Kumar's leadership, especially when you see it alongside those other incidents?
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
But
About how these small, unscripted moments can just blow up in the digital age. They get dissected, spun, and woven into these powerful narratives that shape how we see our leaders.
Absolutely. What does this whole episode, the pot, the memes, the political attacks, what does it really tell us about politics, public perception, and that constant scrutiny of social media today? Something to keep watching as Bihar heads towards its elections.